Hey everybody, KC here. So I am coming to you today from the road. I'm actually at the Broadmoor in Colorado Springs. I'm here because I'm so excited, a live speaking engagement. And it is great to see people. It is great to be seen. And I have to tell you, if you're going to go back out into the world and do things like this, the Broadmoor is a pretty good place to do it. It was interesting. I was just reading the piece that Michael Sansolo wrote for today about how concerns about sustainability seem to cut across all generations. Generation Z being more concerned than previous generations, but basically everybody is concerned about sustainability. The biggest question being, how do we do something about it? I thought this was interesting because I had just read a study on Axios, which basically was also talking about generations. And basically, what they were talking about is Generation Alpha. And Generation Alpha is the group born between 2010 and 2024. So clearly we're not at the end of it yet. When we get to the end of it, the oldest members of Generation Alpha, they're only gonna be like 11 years old. But the point of the piece was, and the study was, is that to a great extent, they're all growing up online, right? To an extent that no other generation ever has. They're weaned on things like Amazon and TikTok. And they're also, according to the study, they've been sort of instructed and they're learning from their millennial parents that they need to be concerned about things like social causes, and brands need to be accountable for things like that. Brands have to be concerned about social justice and sustainability. And what's also interesting is they're going to be an amazingly powerful generation simply because of their size. They're going to be, let's see, according to the study, they already stand out from Gen Z in their worldliness, their brand awareness, and influence over household spending. They're not just pre-consumers. Their sway and leverage over adults' purchasing decisions surpass any prior generation, market researcher says. When they've all been born in 2024, there'll be 2 billion of them almost. That's an enormous number of people. And listen, one of the things is they're going to think about is, to a great extent, many of them are not going to remember COVID. So all the things that we're thinking about now is, and in all the different generations, in terms of thinking about, how is COVID going to influence the long term? For them, COVID is just going to be a vague memory. Maybe something they're going to read in the history books. If they actually read history books, they may find out their history in other ways, hopefully not from social media. But listen, it's one of the things that marketers, brands, retailers have to think about. And it's not too early. How are we going to reach Generation Alpha? But of course, Axio points out, you won't be done trying to figure out how to reach Generation Alpha and how to be resonant and relevant and essential to them before you're going to have to start thinking about the next problem. How are you going to be resonant and relevant and essential to Generation Beta? The mind, I just can't even start to think about this stuff. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.